This story is from my channel Everyday Kindness. On a rainy Tuesday afternoon, the city looked as though it were wrapped in a curtain of gray. Streets glistened under the relentless downpour, and people rushed beneath umbrellas, eager to escape the sudden hailstorm that had begun only minutes earlier. Thunder echoed between tall buildings, and the sharp tapping of hailstones against car roofs created a tense rhythm in the air. But in the middle of this chaos, a moment of unexpected kindness was about to change two lives forever. Alexander Reed, a successful CEO known for his discipline and charm, drove slowly through the storm in his black luxury SUV. He was a single father himself, raising a little boy after losing his wife 3 years ago. Despite the power and status he carried, a quiet ache always lived in his heart, an emptiness only a parent who has felt loss could truly understand. Today, on his way back from a crucial meeting, he planned to pick up his son early from school so they could enjoy a quiet evening together. As he turned a corner near the city park, something unusual caught his eye. Through the sheets of rain, he spotted a tiny figure sitting on the wet ground beside an empty bench. At first, he thought it was just someone trying to take shelter, but as he slowed down, his heart jolted. It was a little girl, no older than 4 or 5, trembling as chunks of frozen hail bounced around her. She had her tiny hands pressed against her ears, her pink dress completely soaked, her small shoulders shaking violently. Without a second thought, Alexander hit the brakes and jumped out of the car, ignoring the rain soaking into his suit. The icy wind stung his skin, but he barely felt it. Instinct pushed him forward. Hey, sweetheart," he said gently, kneeling beside her so he wouldn't frighten her. "Are you hurt? Are you okay?" The little girl looked up, tears mixing with raindrops on her cheeks. Her eyes were wide with fear, her lips trembling too hard for her to speak. Alexander's heart twisted painfully at the sight. He placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now, I promise," he whispered, trying to shield her from the falling hail with his body. "Let's get you out of the rain." But the girl only whimpered and shook her head. My mom," she finally stuttered between sobs. Alexander glanced around, but the park was empty. No adult in sight. The storm was growing worse by the second. "What's your name?" he asked softly. She hesitated, rubbing her eyes with tiny fists. Lily. "That's a beautiful name," he said with a warm smile. "Lily, I need you to come with me to my car, okay? It's warm inside. I won't let anything happen to you." Lily looked at him uncertainly, fear still shadowing her expression. But something in the gentle tone of his voice seemed to comfort her. Slowly, she reached out and placed her cold little hand into his. Alexander felt the fragile trust in that small gesture, and he held her hand carefully as he guided her toward the SUV. Once inside, Lily stared in wonder at the warm lights and soft leather seats. Alexander grabbed a clean jacket from the back and wrapped it around her. She clung to it gratefully, her shivering beginning to ease. "Where's your mom, Lily?" he asked again, keeping his voice calm. She sniffed, her lower lip quivering. We were at the carnival. Then the rain came. Mommy told me to wait on the bench while she ran to get our umbrella from the car. But she didn't come back." Alexander felt concern tighten in his chest. The carnival nearby had scattered crowds quickly when the storm started. It was possible her mother had gotten lost in the rush, or worse, injured. "You did the right thing staying where she asked," he assured her. "We'll find her." Just then, Lily looked up at him with a kind of quiet sadness far too deep for a child her age. You're very kind," she whispered. "Just like my mommy says some people still are." Her small words struck him deeply. He wasn't expecting to be moved by the simplicity of her trust, but he felt it, like a gentle reminder of the kindness he once relied on when his own world had fallen apart. He started the engine and drove slowly around the carnival grounds, hoping to spot someone searching frantically for a child. Lily kept looking out the window, her eyes scanning every face. "Do you have kids?" she asked suddenly, her voice soft. "Yes," Alexander replied, surprised by the question. "A little boy. He's 6. Is he scared in storms too?" Alexander smiled faintly. "Sometimes. But I always tell him the storm will pass, and that he's not alone." Lily hugged the jacket tighter. "That's what my mommy always says." As they circled around the fairground for the second time, Alexander noticed a woman running between the stalls, drenched, crying, calling a name desperately. "Lily," he murmured, pointing. "Is that her?" The little girl gasped. "Mommy." Before he could fully stop the car, Lily pushed the door open and ran toward the woman. Her mother dropped to her knees, gathering her daughter into a trembling embrace. Their cries mixed with relief, fear, and overwhelming joy. Alexander stepped out slowly, watching them with a soft smile. The mother looked up at him, tears streaking her face. "Thank you," she said breathlessly. "Thank you for saving my baby. I was terrified." Alexander shook his head gently. "I just did what anyone should have done." But she knew better. Not everyone would have stopped. Not everyone would have knelt in the hail to comfort a frightened child. Her grateful eyes said more than words ever could. Lily ran back to him and wrapped her small arms around his leg. "Thank you, mister," she said. "You were my hero today." Alexander felt warmth spread in his chest, something he hadn't felt in years. "Take care, Lily," he said softly. "And stay close to your mom." As he drove away, the storm slowly began to fade, leaving behind the glow of streetlights reflecting off wet pavement. He glanced at the rearview mirror one last time and saw Lily waving at him with both hands, a bright smile breaking through the rain. And for the first time in a long while, Alexander felt something heal inside him. Sometimes, kindness doesn't just save others, it saves us too.